We're here with Josh Gibson of the North Melbourne Kangaroos. What we're going to show you today is a footy-specific workout, something we do in the pre-season, something which is going to help you with your on-field performance, your core stability, and a good break in between your high-impact workouts. Josh, you train pretty hard with footy. On a Monday, you might do all the impact stuff, your tackling work, your field work, your drills, your weights. Come Tuesday, we're going to do the sort of workout that you do in the pre-season to strengthen your core, to help you with your balance and all that sort of thing. Now, you're carrying a little bit of an injury at the moment, so we don't want to do you any harm. Our first exercise is your hip flexor Swiss ball roll, and we use the Swiss ball essentially just to help you get into position to stretch the hip flexors. So Josh, if you just go back, this is stretching all the hip flexors through here. He holds the stretch for about 5 or 6 seconds. Now, in doing this with the Swiss ball, obviously some balance comes into it, and you'll see that Josh is just kind of sticking his feet down firm, making sure he's not going side to side when he does these, and this does improve your stability, improves the strength of your core, and helps you to stretch for your warm-up. Our next exercise is a Swiss ball jackknife. This is great for your core stability, great for your abdominal strength, Josh. Let's show us how it's done. We'll do 8 of these, mate. You get into a push-up position off the Swiss ball. You see that the ball stays on your shins, and you pull the ball up with your feet, and when you come down, you've got to keep your back up. You don't dodge into an arch. You don't drop your bum down. You've got to keep your back up. And in keeping your bum up in the air, it stops you from relaxing at all. So the tension's on the whole time. It requires balance and skill as well as strength. And this is a great way to develop your core strength and to get you ready for the workouts ahead. Josh, it's very important to warm up all of the areas. Now, you can't do anything with your abdominal area without warming up your lower back. So let's get in, have some stretches for your lower back. Get a little bit of blood into the area, maybe loosen up. It's particularly important with footy, folks, because if you've been hit the day before, poleaxed, tackled, you have to do some stretching. Now, you get into this position, maybe do some rolling your legs around, which we call cycle. Now we're going to go into the scissor kick, which is just once again working your lower back, and this is how you warm up for the workout ahead. Okay, we're going to move into Swiss ball balancing and med ball throws. We do this all at once, and this is great for strengthening the core once again, bringing your lower back into it, your lower abdominals, and a whole lot of little assisting and supporting muscles to develop your balance and strength. Let's show you what we mean, Josh. I'll hold that still for you, mate, and protect that. No, you're right. Up he gets. Now, this is Swiss ball balancing, and these are med ball throws. Now, you pop the ball up to the athlete. Now, you'll see I'll start popping it out in different directions, mixing it up a little bit, making it confusing. A high one, a low one, and you see his balance is terrific. He's staying up on the ball the whole time. With our Swiss ball balancing, normally you'd have both knees on the ball. Josh is injured at the moment, so he's actually made this more difficult by doing it on one knee. The other one's stuck out to the side. He can't use it to pivot off, and it's very hard to balance in this instance when the ball's going everywhere, including up, down, and all around. Well done, Josh. Good work. Our next exercise is another great stability, core strengthening exercise called med ball twist, tap, and throw. Josh is balancing up on his behind. He's staying perfectly balanced on his back, or his feet are touching the ground. That requires some skill in itself. This requires you to keep the tension on your lower back and on your abdominals. He'll tap, tap, and throw it back. I'll pop it back straight away. He changes side. Now, you'll note that Josh's legs are staying in the same position. He's not using them to twist. He's not twisting his upper body. He's using his arms to move and keeping his core very, very still. You'll see how stable his abdominals, lower back, glutes and legs are as he does this very tricky manoeuvre. Good set, mate. Good set. Our next exercise is a single leg med ball throw. You'll see Josh leans right forward with this one, keeps his leg perfectly still. I'm going to throw the ball up and under. He's got to catch and throw it back. Now you see his leg trying to move around. The object of the exercise is not to let your leg move, not to get the shakes, and to keep as still as you can while leaning forward. Good work. Sometimes the best school is the old school. We're going to do some old school medicine ball throws. We started out doing these when I started going to the gym, Josh, which is a long time ago. Let's test each other out and see how we go with these. And here we go. You see, it's one smooth action. That's better. Now, if you want to make this a bit more interesting, you can play a game where each time you throw it, you go back a bit further and see who drops the ball first. Yeah, we're just about maximum distance. So let's, whoa, that was a bit low. Come on, put it up a bit, mate. Is that the best you got? Ah! Now we're going to move back in a bit closer, speed them up a little bit. Develops a whole lot of skill sets, including catching, throwing, and super sharp abdominals. We're going to do a glute and hamstring sequence now, Josh, and show the folks how we actually isolate these muscles and bring them into play. It's very important with football to have all these small muscles isolated, because when you get tackled, for example, if you've got some big guy coming at you and you've got a great core and a lot of strength there, you've got the ability to give the ball off without getting thrown into the ground. A lot of people underestimate the strength required to play AFL footy, but obviously it's all from here to here. The waist, the glutes and the hammy. So show us a good glute and hammy one here, Josh. And we'll show a couple of things he does it. Now you see that Josh comes up and engages his glutes, flexes his hamstring, holds the movement, and then comes down. He'll come up with the other side. This is engaging his lower back muscles, his erectors, his glutes, and his hamstrings. With your head position, it's important to have your chin down near your hands and not to have a super arch in your back. We don't want his head up in the air. Just lift your head up. That's no good for your neck. So what we do, we try and take your upper body out of it and use all of this just for your stability so that the rest of your body doesn't rock while you're doing it. So head in a nice, comfortable position. Normally we would work in a rep range with most of these conditioning exercises around 8 reps per side, maybe 2 sets for each leg, but it's all about doing them slowly and effectively and strictly. Swiss balls have probably been overused in gyms over the last few years because they've become a bit of a buzzword. Where they are very important, very apparent, is with contact sports like footy. We're going to do another one now, a bridge hold position for a running man exercise, and this is a great all-rounder. Show us how to do this one, Josh. Basically, he's holding onto the ball with his elbows only, his hands are pressed together, and the ball's trying to roll. So the whole stability of the upper body is holding the ball still. This requires great concentration. Then we're going to bring the knee up to the chest, which involves your hip flexors, your lower abdominals, your thighs. You see his knee comes all the way up to the ball, all the way back. And when he's doing that, he has to fight with the other leg so the ball doesn't roll. So it forces you to get stability with your opposite leg, and most importantly, your upper body and abdominals are holding the ball still. You've got to keep your backside up in the air with your back slightly rounded, and that keeps your abdominals firing, keeps them flexed, keeps them working. The last thing you want to do is to go into an arch where you drop your lower back down. No good, Josh. Have a rest. You're gone.